So you want to learn to be a pilot, hemorrhage money, all during a pandemic? Me too. Roll intro. What's going on, aviation YouTubers? My name is Rudder Kurt, and welcome to my brand new channel, where I take you, the pilot, the student, the enthusiast, the plane spotter, and the av geek on my journey from day one of flight training all the way to commercial ratings and everything in between. The sky is the limits on this channel. Before we begin, why do airplanes get sent to their room? For having bad altitudes. Who writes this? Today is all about my very first lesson, and the video is broken down into a 3-part miniseries. I debated editing its entirety into one action-packed video, but reminded myself of my target audience, and I wanted to give you, the viewer, a bird's eye view into as much of this first lesson as possible. There's an old saying that you never forget your first, so I want to hear all about your very first flight lesson. In the comments below, tell me where you were, what type of plane you flew, how did you feel, and what was your takeaway? I personally read every comment, and who knows, the best story may even win some Rudder Kurt swag. If you were nervous on your first flight, then go ahead and like, subscribe, and smash the bell icon. Now sit back, buckle in, throttle up.
You had that link on your phone, right? I sent it to you? Sure did. Awesome, man. So you could actually be doing it on your phone from now on, which would, like, whenever you got time. Okay. Like if I'm ever with a student or something, then it's like, yeah, if you have that ready to go, we get to report quicker. Otherwise, it is supposed to feel whatever else. Yeah, I'll get you to, just to get in the habit. Yeah. Technically, whenever you come in, you're supposed to have declaration of health done too on that site, which says that you don't have COVID. You checked your temperature before you left the house and whatever else.
So departure reports?
Yeah.
Okay.
So student ID?
The site was all caps, didn't we, I think?
I hope so.
Yeah, I guess we're about to find out.
Or all lowercase. Yeah, oh, you got it, man. So active. Active flight status. Tail number, ADF. LP2, because you done LP1.
Yeah, we did.
This is our way of remembering keys and documents. We have the documents in the back. The keys are good. Scroll down. So it is on. Like I have a good aspect on it, but if we got time today, let's make sure we do one so that you know how to do it next time.
Absolutely. Sounds great. And then the briefing we just did.
Yep. Do you have any questions for the flight?
No, I know exactly. That's good. Excellent.
Give a little bit of that hot breath, or?
Yep, I think that's what's going on.
Excellent. So departure report's done.
Cool. Okay.
This is good. So we can do the checklist, which did I put back in?
Nope, I put it right here.
Let's wrap it up. You got any questions?
So, before takeoff?
We did all that.
Okay. Takeoff now?
Oh, sorry, no, we're doing this one. Pre-flight. Then we're doing before start now.
Okay. So we're going to go over the emergency briefing.
Yeah, so I get you to read that every time.
Okay, so in the event of a rejected takeoff before VR, I will set throttle to idle. So that's all the way back.
Yeah.
Apply max braking, which is tippy toes. One stop to evaluate and evacuate if necessary. In case of an engine failure or fire after rotation, but below 1,000 feet, if runway is remaining, we'll land over the runway. If not, we will land in any field available ahead of us. Surely is only that option.
Yeah.
In case of over 1,000, we'll evaluate returning to the runway if possible. If not, we'll land.
Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot at the terminal, taxiing to the run-up area.
By Alpha.
By Alpha.
There you go, man. Like a boss. Okay.
Yeah.
So good. So everything else is good to go here. So now I'm going to get us both moving here. This is the wing so close to the palm.
Yeah, I'll let you
I
handle
always take
that.
responsibility. So I'm on the top of the brake pedal right now because I can do really sharp turns, okay?
And you're using the left one for that, right?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. So most of the time you want to use the rudders when we're taxiing, and the brakes if we have to do a sharper turn. So while I'm up here, I'm going to do a nice sharp turn with the rudder as much as I can. I'm doing like a box turn.
Okay.
So I turn far left with the rudder right now. It doesn't let me turn that much, so I use the top of the brake. There we go. Now the wings go one way, the ball goes the other.
Right.
This is
Yep.
turning whenever I turn each way. That's turning. And same with the compass. The compass card's on backwards, but you can see that it's turning as I move, right? So we want to make sure that it's turning and moving and floating freely, right?
Okay.
Those are our 3 gyros. That's it for the taxi. So
Cool.
now while we're taxiing, good practice. We don't want more than 1,000, and if we keep back pressure, it takes the pressure off the nose wheel.
Okay.
So that we can taxi quicker with less power, right?
Again, the rudders is what steer it.
Absolutely. So let's try to stay on the center line. We'll go nice and slow here. I'll get you to just use the rudders, go back and forth on this line right now. Just try to stay straight. So the nose, the center of the nose should be over this yellow line that we're on. You see that? It's kind of big.
Yeah.
It's kind of big. Here, so I'll take control here.
Okay.
I'm going to put it
You have control.
so you can kind of hover over the controls with me.
Yeah.
With what I'm doing. I have a lot of rudder application right now. I have just enough power to get me moving here. And then I have to put the tail by the fence. That's where we do our run-up area, right? So
Okay.
I'm off of the taxiway right now. I'm making sure I'm not going to hit this hanger, obviously, with the wing. And then I use the top of the brake here right now to do a sharp turn right beside here. I'm going to get that tail right by the fence area. This is perfect. We're off the taxiway. We're set up for the run-up. And if you feel with the rudder pressure,
Yeah.
if it's crooked, that means the nose wheel's not straight. So I give it some motion, move forward until I feel like they're even.
Oh, okay.
So now we can do kind of power, reduce the power a little bit. We're going to go for the run-up. There we go. This is a nice hot.
So,
The other side. This guy right here.
run up. All right. So fuel selector. Both?
We can actually, it's on both. We know it's pulling on both, but if I put it on left right now and I give it like a minute or two, I'll see if there is a blockage on the left side. And then I can switch technically to the right on the next part when it wants me to switch.
Okay.
You just
So,
don't want to forget.
yeah, right. Yeah. So seatbelts secure.
Yeah.
Throttle at. So that's the one we're going to run it up to 17, right?
Yeah, so we got our feet
So
on the
feet
top.
on the brakes.
Yeah, go ahead and put the power up to 17. Awesome.
Okay. Then bring it back up.
Yeah, just stay at 1700.
Okay. Stay at 1700.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're putting the engine under capacity to see if we're up in the air, what the airplane's going to perform like, and we're going to do a couple of tests under that.
Okay. Mixture.
So this is a mixture. So now when we check it, we're checking to see that if I pull it out, if I lean it out, it's going to kill the engine. But at this point, I actually check it and I set it. So because we're over 3,000 feet here, according to the engine, the manufacturer, over 3,000 feet, they want us to lean it out on the ground for optimum performance takeoff. If we were at sea level, we wouldn't have to stress about this.
Right.
But here, we're going to lean it out. So I'm at 1,700. See that little tiny drop? I'm pulling this really slowly with I put my thumb on here to push against it.
Okay.
I see the drop.
Yep. I
the
see
drop,
that.
and then
Yep.
I put it in about ½ an inch.
Okay.
So if I run it out too lean, it's going to put too much pressure on the engine.
Okay.
So this way, I'm going to be running it. If you run it rich, it's just going to clean seal and lubricate the engine. It's good, right? And cool it. It's not terrible, but you can also foul the spark plugs by running it too rich.
Right. Okay. So magnetos. So do
Yeah.
I go to right?
Yeah, so you're on both, right?
I am on both. Yes.
So go from both to left and look at the tachometer here.
Okay. So dropped.
It dropped, but it wants less than 125, right? So you put it back to both. Then you're going to go to right. Not more than 125, and then go from right to left.
It should stay the same, right?
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be more than 50,
Yeah.
right? That's what they're looking for. Now we
Okay.
go back to both. Make
Back
sure
to
good.
both. Okay. Now vacuum.
We got 5 inches, and it's plus minus 0.4, so we're pretty good, man.
Okay.
We're looking good.
Carb heat. So on, and then we're gonna see. It should drop, right?
Yeah, we should no more than 10%, it says, right?
Okay. So am I gonna all the way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Start to roll there.
Okay, okay. All the way. So we'll see a little drop.
Yeah.
10% of 1,700 is what, 170? So yeah, obviously we didn't see very much of a drop. Now it wants to keep carb heat on,
Oh, okay. Keep hard. Okay.
and then you're going to do throttle idle. So now if we're in the air in this configuration, we want to make sure the engine's not going to die. So you can just pull it all the way.
Still running.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Okay. So do I go back up to 17?
Yeah, well, no. And now it wants you to do carb heat off,
Okay. Carb heat off.
and then we can go to 1,000. And then we're going to switch over.
Throttle to 1,000 now.
So in the winter time, it's going to take a little bit more time for the engine to warm up. If it's kind of snuffling at this point, it's just because we haven't been running for a very long time. So.
Sure.
Okay, we can switch it over to before takeoff. So top up here.
Seat belts and harness all secure. Doors closed and locked.
Absolutely.
Flight instruments. So what are we? So we're checking like to make sure that we're at 3601.
3600.
Okay.
And then the heading indicator we have to set to magnetic compass. So this is looking roughly like 175 to me.
Okay, 175.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
15, 18, 171, 175.
So where are you looking?
So it's 15, and south is 180, and
Yeah.
so it's just to the right of this, in between the two, 175.
We're gonna call it 175. Okay. So then I need to change this.
Yeah, so you push in and turn. So if you don't, if you just keep your hand on the knob, but just push and turn, push and turn, push and turn.
So okay, so push.
It's gonna be easier to the left, or to turn it to the left. Okay. Yeah, it's a little tricky. You gotta push it quite a bit. I just keep my hand on there, and I just go whoop, 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 whoop.
Uh huh.
I know. I know. The beauty. Well,
Right about there.
that looks great, man.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is set. That's set. Now we're going to check our altitude indicator.
Okay, how do we
We
check
know we
that?
have enough suction pressure. If we didn't, this might not be on board yet. But
Okay.
it was. We know we got good vacuum. So it looks like it's a little turned to the left right now. And I'm sure that as we get more and more vacuum pressure, it's going to be great. So I like to put it just below the horizon because we're kind of in the cruise altitude right now.
Right. Yeah.
So to me, that's the reference I'll be seeing outside with the Cessna on the dash.
Right.
I like to see the similar kind of thing, right? So that's good. Blend instruments are checked. Now we're going to check our engine instruments.
All right. So
Engine
flight
gauges.
instruments, fuel.
So engine gauges, right? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, that's next. So fullest tank. So now that's when we switch to both.
Yeah, but I'll pull it on the right and then.
Oh, and then we're gonna go back after just to see if there's
Absolutely. It's hard to remember, right?
engine gauges. So everything should be in the green.
Yeah, T's and P's in the green. Temperature, pressure.
That's what. Okay, T's and P's is temperature and pressure,
That's right.
both in the green.
Pressure's
Good there.
just on the bottom end, and it might take a little while to build up. So
Okay.
not a biggie.
We got primer in and locked. I checked that earlier, but I can't pull it out. It is locked. Mixture we already checked or we already set.
So it's set, yeah. So we checked and we set it.
Set it, yep. Carb heat is now off. Flaps, so now we're going to bring the flaps all the way up.
So while you're holding it down, you can jump to the next one.
Okay. Transponder, alt, okay.
For altitude, right? So it's normally position encoding. If we put it to alt, now it's altitude encoding as well.
Okay.
And we got to make sure on that same transponder thing, we got to make sure we're on 1200, which is VFR below 12,500 feet.
Okay. And then trim, it's indicating neutral.
Good.
Okay.
And we saw that outside, right?
Oh, right, yeah, because you made the comment that he trimmed it up neutral for us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so controls, so we're going to go left, back, right, forward.
Awesome.
Free and clear. Throttle's at 1,000. Takeoff briefing, we talked about what we're going to use.
So this is the takeoff briefing
okay.
right below it. So what runway we're using? We look at the windsock. What do you think?
I can't see the winds. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we need to fly into the tail.
Climb the tail, right?
Climb the tail. So I would say that we're going to use the left runway.
Yeah, which is 16.
16.
Towards the south area, right?
Right.
So when it says wind condition, what is the wind condition? Is it straight headwind or what is it?
It's actually a crosswind right now.
It is, and it's a little variable. It's jumping back and forth. So what are we going to do? The wind is coming from the west. We're going to burn controls into the wind.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Duration of the flight. And so we just talked about that. Like that's the hour.
Yeah, we'll be about a 0.8 or whatever.
And then I don't know what the go/no-go point is on the runway.
So an unofficial rule is 70% of your rotation speed by 50% of the runway.
Okay.
It's hard for people to do that math.
Yeah.
So we specify what we think is a good go/no-go point.
Okay.
And so if you're taking off at 16, there's a house on the left with a yellow umbrella, beach umbrella on the patio.
I do see that, yes.
There's also a house on the right, a yellow house right before this pond.
Okay.
We do not have 65 by those two places. We're going to pull the power and we're going to apply back.
That's the brakes. Okay.
Good, man.
All right, so
that's all good, man.
Okay.
So now this is all done. So now we put checklist down. We're gonna make a call. We're in Springbank. Everything's so close together here, so people are really skippy on their calls here at Okotoks. But if you were to be in Springbank, you would say taxi to the run-up area or taxi to the whole short line of runway 16. But they're gonna be like where you're coming from, right? So that's why it's always this is where I am. This is where I'm going. So Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Foxtrot at the run-up area, taxi to hold short runway 16. on Alpha. We're holding short on Alpha, runway 16, right? Or you could just be like Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot, to run a very taxi to the whole short line, right? Because we know where we are here.
Right.
But I just mean the full call would be where you are, which taxiway are you using. And you're
So
holding short.
it will be Okotoks traffic, who we are, taxiing from run-up area to hold short line of runway 16 via Alpha.
That's it, man.
Yeah, let's see if I can do that again.
Yeah.
Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Fox, from the run-up area, taxiing to the hold short point, runway 16 via Alpha.
Love it.
Cool.
So Fox is kind of slang, right? Foxtrot, right? So
Right.
everyone gets slang on the radio, and
Okay.
eventually it will be a dying art, right? And
Okay.
for people to be full. Okay, sweet, man. These geese will hopefully get out of our way. So now we're gonna taxi over here, so we can do a nice tight turn here.
Okay, so
The brake.
I'm just gonna do
Yeah.
the, okay.
So another thing about taxiing is we talked about maintaining directional control. So the wind is coming in saying right now, it's moving all around the place, right? It's kind of coming from behind us right now. So we would have controls forward, right? Remember
Right.
when we talked about that?
Right, yeah, always checking, okay.
So we want to stop before the hold short line,
Yep.
and we want to have traffic in sight. So we should be further back, but I'm going to turn us, because we were taking off at 16, we think, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to turn it just a little bit to the left like this. This is the position we should have.
Okay.
I want this yellow line before the line, a little to the left. Now we got traffic visual. We can make a call now, so Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot, holding short on Alpha. Now we can do our takeoff checklist.
Okay.
So just in case somebody just came into our airspace here, I made that call, and now if they're coming in and planning on landing, they know that I'm here, I'm in their way. So now I can, if they're coming in, I can go on the runway and turn around. Because right now, can we turn around? I have to go on the runway to turn around.
That's right,
This
yeah.
is our point to make a decision and make sure we're not cutting anybody off in the process.
All right, so time, you've screenshotted already? Or
Yeah,
no, so this will be
I
our
did.
takeoff now.
Now I'm going to screenshot that.
Okay. So landing taxi lights.
Right here.
So landing
Yeah.
on,
Some people will light it up like a Christmas tree, so
Okay.
they'll put the nav lights on, they'll put the wing strobes on. I just put landing lights on. That's all we need for here. But
Okay.
you're welcome to do that. It's just you're going to have to remember to turn those
turn
off.
those off, right. Pilot heat as required.
Pitot heat, right? So
Oh,
that's
pitot.
for the pitot tube, and in the wintertime, if we're worried about ice accumulation,
And where is that?
blockage, so that's the pitot tube over here.
Yep, yep.
And the pitot heat is, we got alternate static here, pitot heat right here, this guy right here.
Oh, where it was right in the, okay, got it,
Yeah.
yep. So throttle,
Full, when we
Full.
take off.
okay, and rotate at 60. Thought we wanted 65.
We do.
Okay.
Some of these checklists are a little bit back. If you pull 60, that might be a little too early.
Okay, so we're gonna
65.
go for
We're not going
65.
to pull at 75, we'll pull at 65, right?
And then gear and flaps, which we don't have a gear, and the flaps will be all the way up.
Yeah, so yeah, and we didn't talk about that either, right? Here's some flaps. If we're doing a normal takeoff, up. If we're going to do a short field takeoff, we do 10 degrees.
10 degrees, okay.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Cool, so now the checklist is done. You can put that away. Awesome. So now we're going to make a call, Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot, backtracking runway 16, and we'll say east departure.
Okay, so we're backtracking runway 16 for an east departure.
Yeah, that's our intention, right?
Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot, backtracking runway 16 for an east departure.
Love it, man. Good to go. Let's do it.
All right, so
We're going to keep back pressure.
back pressure, clear again, slowly advance, checking the windsock,
Good. Right away, we need rudder.
right, yeah, right rudder,
So we'll stay on
trying to get on that red line, or sorry, the
yellow line.
yellow
Yeah,
line.
and it will eventually meet up on the center line.
back pressure.
Yeah, that wind's pretty variable, man.
Yeah, I know,
I hope we don't get a tailwind, right?
right, that's what we don't want.
Yeah.
And we want to taxi around 15,
You can get to the center line now.
oh, so the center line of the actual runway?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it brings you close enough. I don't know why it doesn't match completely, but. And so our pressure here, are you on the brakes or the rudders?
Oh, so,
There
yeah,
you go, see?
yeah,
As I was telling
totally.
you, I'm like, we're 1500, we should be going faster, right?
oops.
So yeah, so it's 1100 while we're going upslope is probably enough. If we're going downhill, 900 will be fine enough because we'll have gravity and momentum, right? So, good. Come back to center line with the rudders. If you can't taxi straight, you will not take off straight.
Right, yeah,
All right.
fair enough.
So, and because of torque, it's always easier to do left turns at the end of, they call it the button at the end of the runway.
Okay.
It's easier to do left turns than it is right turns. So we'll swing to the right here, and then we're good to, we don't want to come to a complete stop. We'll keep a little bit of that momentum. Not, here, I'll take control so you can set
Yeah.
that up here. So see, I'm going to add a little bit of power here. Obviously don't want to come too fast around the corner and get a wing drop, but this is nice, man. This is a nice pace. I come to the very end here because I always want to use the whole runway. Then I'm using the top of the brake here. And you'll get a feel for this too, but top of the brake here.
On the left, right, to make that sharp turn?
Absolutely, and I'm trying to stay on the center line here. If you kind of hover over the controls, I don't want to give, now I start kind of correcting it, because if I keep that going, we're going to go to the left.
Okay.
Now we're set up. We already did all of our takeoff checks, but we can double check now. So, trim's neutral, mixture set, flaps are up, carb heat's off. We're good to go, man. So now we can make a call. Okie dokes traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot, rolling on runway 16 or taking off of runway 16.
Okotoks traffic, Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot, rolling on runway 16 for takeoff.
Good, so it's a little bit crosswindy, so naturally, like, I think it would be, I don't want you to be uncomfortable, but I want you to do this takeoff, and I'm going to be assisting you, okay?
All right, so then, this isn't going to stay then.
Did you give it a little moisture?
Speaking moistly on them. Oh, what a terrible image.
Sweet, man. Awesome. The only other thing is, so when we're set up here, obviously for spring break, we're taking out valuable real estate, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, I like to do this takeoff checklist and then come roll and
And then
take off
just
right
go,
away.
right.
So good, so we're going to do full power.
Okay.
You're going to keep